Since the dawn of computing, Spellcheck has been an integral part of writing. Whether it's a document in Word or a draft within your email, Spellcheck has played a vital role in helping us not make a fool of ourselves. And nowadays, dynamic spelling makes that even easier so that you don't even have to run a spell check. Yes, my Gen Z friends, that's how old I am. I actually had to run spell check when I was at the end of my document. Now, whether you're writing that email or a Word document, it automatically checks your spelling and underlines any errors as you go. But what about in InDesign? Now, several years back, I had a boss who told the entire editorial staff at the company that I worked for that InDesign did not have a spell check. The implication being that no designers could ever see if anything was spelled wrong in a document. But not only was that not true, there absolutely is a spell check. There is also dynamic spelling within InDesign as well. And you can use it just like you would in Word. You just have to know how to find it. So here we have our document all ready to go to print. But before we make any catastrophic mistakes, we want to see if there's any spelling errors. So all we need to do is go up to Edit, Preferences, and then down here we'll see Spelling. So let's go ahead and click on that. Now this pulls up our spelling preferences. So we can see that we have checkboxes here for misspelled words, repeated words, uncapitalized words, and uncapitalized sentences, allowing us to turn each of those on or off. But what we're looking for today is this section here called dynamic spelling. That's just a fancy term for those underlines that we'd find in Word or Gmail or Outlook. All of those platforms that we're used to seeing that little underline that means something might not be spelled right. And that's exactly what we're looking to do here. So let's go ahead and check that box to enable dynamic spelling. And then we can also see that we have some dropdowns here where we can change the color of each of these functions. So right now we have it set so that misspelled words are underlined in red, and then repeated words, uncapitalized words, and uncapitalized sentences are all set to green. Now I usually leave these settings as they are now, but if you wanted to, you could set this to any color you wanted. I also assume this would be incredibly helpful for someone who's red-green colorblind. That way they can actually see the different colors. So good forward thinking from Adobe here. So now that we have those settings where we want them, let's go ahead and hit OK. Alright, so you won't see any difference yet, and that's because we're in preview mode. So in order to switch back to normal mode, there are two ways to go about that. You could come over here to the bottom of our toolbar and click on this button and select normal. Or the way that I always do it is just to hit the W key. And now you can see that brought us back to our normal view within InDesign. And that lets us see all of our spelling mistakes. So here we can see professionalism that has too many S's, spelling that has not enough L's, and we also have a sentence that began with an uncapitalized word. So it's already pointing out all of our errors. But then down here we have InDesign that's marked incorrect. But in our case, that is how we want to write it. It's just that InDesign's dictionary doesn't recognize it. Now, usually I would just leave this alone. But if we wanted to have that not come up again, all we would have to do is select that word, right click, and then say add to user dictionary. That way the word won't come up again as a misspelling. So if we click that, we see that red underline goes away. Now for my preferences, I always leave dynamic spelling on. If I want to see my layout clean without any underlines, I just tap the W key and it'll take me back to preview mode. And if I want to see the spelling again, I just hit that W key one more time to bring it back to normal view. But if seeing all this is a little bit too overwhelming for you, I understand. I definitely know designers who hate seeing all these little squiggles. So you could either go back to your spelling preferences and turn it off, or you could find a word that's misspelled, right click it, and then at the bottom we see this option for dynamic spelling. And if we click that, the dynamic spelling shuts off again. That way you won't need to go all the way back into your settings. And if we want to go in the opposite direction, we just go and right click again. But this time, instead of being all the way at the bottom, it's all the way up here under the spelling category and under dynamic spelling. So if we click that, it all pops right back up again. And that's how we utilize dynamic spelling in Adobe InDesign, ensuring that our documents are error-free. And now that you know how to use those dynamic spelling settings, how about learning how to make your pull quotes look even better in Adobe InDesign? I have a video right here to show you the secrets to making your pull quotes look great.